The trench fields. A dry land of rolling, blistered hills, plateaus of bedrock, flat horizons, towering old fortresses, and a labyrinth of trenches. So vast in reach, unreasonable to be labeled as a field. Many wars have played their part on this stage, this region east of Agincourt's walls. Though the regimes have changed, the banners have shifted, and the weapons have matured, the land remains an old country where men play war. It is said the trenches are so twined like one's intestines, to be lined out could wrap the world. Yet most are left forgotten, for no army could stand duty in such capacity. In one of these trenches of the southeastern front of Sector 8, 119th Battle Line, a KCG infantry stands post. Advanced binoculars in hand, watches quietly over the horizon towards the 120th Battle Line, left deserted due to the poor maintenance and limited manpower in the sector. Setting his binoculars down, he feels his air drawn thin and replaces his respirators. Breathing calm once more, he ignores his fatigued body to see a friendly face.
Asdor, catch the view of that lizard bird I mentioned?
Corporal Mink was a comical man who supposedly trained as a soldier in the Corps Crimson Guard, yet seems to only be capable of eating more than his own rations and carrying a tin mug scavenged on one of his tours of duty living in the trench fields. Asdor, holding the binoculars, was a young man who seemed tense, drilled and eager for combat, yet has yet done more than search for Mink's mythical lizard bird.
I know your lizard bird doesn't exist. I'm not stupid.
Hey, I'm the veteran here. How long have you been in Sector 8?
Private Asdor tries to ignore him, returning to his search towards the barren wastes. Corporal Mink never lets go of his seniority, this time bumping his iconic tin mug on Private Asdor's uniform, now with a slight sarcasm to his tone.
Come on now, let me hear it. How long have you been serving the Crimson Guard under our fearless French Marshal Remus?
I just feel like I can do more, and they got conscripts actually going to a fight. Yet not me. I volunteered to. I asked for this, and I'm here watching a deserted trench a mile away from me, because what? Some wasteland scavengers might call that dirt hole a home.
Mink looks out into the sky with a soft smile. Taking his mask off, Mink sips his drink for a moment. Asdor looked annoyed with Mink's behavior.
You know you're gonna suffocate if you don't use your mask.
It's okay. At least I died doing what I love.
What, drinking in a nowhere wasteland?
Dying.
Asdor once more lowers his binoculars, never entertained by Mink's dark and unruly humor. However, looking upon his smile, he can see a darkness molding inside him. Deep within, Asdor felt a great pity for Mink, last survivor of his own squad, reassigned to Asdor's squad. If only he could imagine what Mink has witnessed, what made him cry every time he laughed. There was a sadness within him, one that teetered on the edge of madness.
Alright, you're a funny man. I appreciate your company, Mink.
That's Corporal Mink. Don't forget they promote survivors.
Azor once more grew bothered by Mink, tempted to change the subject.
Right. So, why don't you tell me when it's soup time back at the bunks and, put that mask back on?
Right. Breathing actual good air. Forgot how lightheaded I felt. No problem, friend. Soup day is my favorite day. I'll check for us both.
Soup days every day, Mink.
Then I must love every day.
Asdor turns back to his binoculars as Mink begins to head out, most likely to return in a few minutes as he always would. Looking out again, Asdor notices something different. A storm appeared to be on the horizon. A line of darkness covered where the land touched the sky. It was rare to see a storm out here, rain being even more rare. For most storms, only darkness, strong winds, lightning, and a great deal of tremors would blow in. Unnatural for a storm to bring the rattling of soil, yet no storm would pass without an earthquake to remind the fragility of mortal men. Soon the slight tremors were felt, an eerie alarm of the storm to come. Mink returns as the small tremors begin.
Oh, don't you love the vibration? Can you hear what the tremors are saying?
No, Mink. I don't know what they're saying.
Holding his ear out, Mink gesturely acts as if he speaks with the soil and rock. Nodding his head, he whispers like an old sage of comedy.
It's saying... Oh, what's that? Yes, sounds good. It's saying we get the day off, stay in our bunks for the storm to pass. Oh, and play cards with the other lads until we got nothing left to bet.
Asdor, rolling his eyes and focuses back on watching the storm, the rumbling becomes slightly stronger than the norm for a storm's approach. It is then he notices something doesn't seem right about the darkness coming. Before being able to speak, Mink snatches the binoculars away. Asdor looks at him, seeing a cold, serious expression. One he hasn't seen before.
Mink, what's going on?
Asdor, listen to exactly what I say.
What do you see? The enemy? Are they using the storm as cover? Are we gonna fight?
Shut it! Asdor, you need to run. Get the jeep and fall back to the 118th battle line.
But that's treason. I'm not leaving you guys. I'm gonna report to our sergeant.
The rumbling grew stronger. The storm never seemed to climb the blue sky, yet only a shadow of it flooded the ground. As Asdor attempted to leave Mink to report in, his arm was grasped tightly.
Corporal Mink, what the hell are you doing?
If you don't get in that jeep and fall back now, I will shoot you and make you. Look, Asdor,
Corporal
look!
Mink forces the binoculars back onto Private Asdor. Looking through them once again, he sees the approaching storm. No clouds or weather to speak of. It was a flood of death. Hundreds of thousands of monstrous beasts flooding the trenches, being hindered only slightly by the constant hand-dug ravines that blanketed the landscape. Seeing their approach to the 120th battle line was minutes away, Private Asdor soon realized no amount of firepower in the 119th battle line could even hold a chance of stopping this endless horde.
Mink, what the hell am I looking at?
Enemy. Now go.